Can you imagine Ferrari abandoning an entire season just to prepare a car that can change everything? Well, that is exactly what they have done with the SF26. But will the sacrifice be worth it? But all that, according to the Maranello engineers, was part of the plan. A long-term strategy where losing today would help you win tomorrow. According to sources close to the team, this renunciation of the season meant an advantage of between 6 and 8 months of real development compared to its main rivals. That is, almost a full season of technical advantage in an era of Formula One where every day of simulation, every hour on the test bench, can make the difference between a victory and a retirement. The question many are asking is whether this extreme approach is an act of genius or sporting suicide. Because if SF26 fails, if this Project 678 does not deliver immediate results in 2026, the consequences could be devastating. Loss of credibility, flight of talent, internal crisis. But if it works, if this car delivers what it promises, we could be witnessing the beginning of a new red era. And it wouldn't be the first time. Ferrari has made similar bets in the past. In 1996, they opted for a young Michael Schumacher and a technical team from scratch. 3 years later, they dominated the world. In 2022, they tried again, but without conviction, and the project collapsed. Now, with Hamilton on board, a revamped technical team and an aggressive design philosophy, they are attempting to rewrite history once again. But the price has been high, and there is no return guarantee. Only one thing is certain: the SF26 will not be just another car. It will be the car with the most pressure, the most expectations, and the most history under its belt in at least a decade. While many teams stayed within traditional design boundaries, Ferrari did the unthinkable. He chose steel. In a sport where every gram counts, and where engineers strive to save even milligrams in strategic areas, Ferrari has taken a route that defies orthodoxy, replacing the aluminum in the engine heads with an advanced steel alloy. A technical decision that not only caused skepticism within the paddock, but even internal division within the team itself in Maranello. The logic behind this decision is not simple. At first glance, steel seems crazy. It's heavier. It is more difficult to machine. Its thermal inertia is greater. But that is in theory with conventional steels. Ferrari, in collaboration with AVL, an Austrian firm specializing in engine simulation and extreme materials, developed a custom steel alloy with ceramic inclusions and traces of copper. The objective was only one: to create a cylinder head capable of withstanding combustion pressures and temperatures never seen in Formula One. Steel was not chosen on a whim, but out of necessity. With new 2026 rules promoting a greater balance between the internal combustion engine (ICE) and the electrical system, Ferrari understood it had to maximize the thermal efficiency of its engine. In other words, extract more power for each drop of fuel. And for that, a material was required that could withstand temperatures exceeding 2000 degrees and pressures that could burst a conventional cylinder head in a matter of seconds. What really changes the game here is the application of additive manufacturing techniques. Ferrari, using ultra-high precision metal printers, has created cylinder heads that could not be manufactured by traditional means. Internal cavities designed for more effective cooling. Structural reinforcements placed exactly where they are needed. Intentionally weakened areas to allow controlled thermal expansion. It is frontier engineering. The direct gain from this solution is estimated to be approximately 13 horsepower. It doesn't sound like much, but in Formula One that represents up to 0.25 seconds per lap. And it's not just about power. By improving thermal efficiency, the need for large radiators is reduced, which in turn allows for a more compact body, lower drag, and a cleaner aerodynamic design. It is a cascade of benefits that begins at the heart of the engine. But the revolution does not end there. The power units of 2026 represent a profound conceptual change. The removal of the MGUH has forced all manufacturers to completely rethink how they recover and deliver energy. The MGUK will now be the protagonist. Its power triples, going from 120 to 350 kilowatts. This changes everything. It is no longer a simple acceleration support. It is a second engine with a life of its own. And this is where Ferrari's second big bet comes in: torque blending. A technology that seeks to seamlessly merge the power delivery of the thermal engine with that of the electric engine. If this fusion is not perfect, the car becomes unstable, lose traction. It becomes unpredictable. But according to internal leaks, Ferrari has achieved one of the smoothest and most progressive systems in the paddock. Leclerc and Hamilton would have described it as impressive during the first test bench simulations. This level of integration is critical because without MGUH, all energy recovery depends on braking. Pilots will have to modify their driving style, do more lift and coast, manage batteries, and adapt to a new way of riding. A physical, mental, and technical challenge. And Ferrari claims to be ready. Most impressively, the SF26 is no longer simply a running machine. It is a declaration of intent. Ferrari is telling the world that it is willing to play on the frontier of what is legal, what is viable, what is possible. While other teams repeat safe formulas, Maranello has decided to reinvent its own. This new hybrid approach is not an evolution. It is a complete mutation of the DNA of modern Formula One. And Ferrari wants to lead it from the first lap. If the SF26 engine is its heart, aerodynamics is its nervous system. And Ferrari has decided to completely reconfigure it. For many engineers, the new 2026 rules represent a setback. The ground effect is over. DRS is over. The philosophies that have dominated the category for almost 5 years are over. But for others like Diego Tondi and Frank Sanchez, SF26 aerodynamic leaders, this is not a setback. It is a liberation. The new regulations force teams to design cars without ground effect, returning to flat bottoms, something that has not been seen since the beginning of the last decade. But it is not a return to the past. It is a leap into a new dimension, the era of active aerodynamics. And Ferrari has taken this transition as an opportunity to break with everything that came before. The key is two completely new modes, X mode and Z mode. The first, designed for areas of low drag, reduces aerodynamic load to a minimum to increase top speed. The second, ideal for fast corners, drastically increases the load to ensure stability. Unlike DRS, which could only be used in specific areas and under strict conditions, these modes can be activated with complete freedom, as long as they are on track sections, not limited by traction. Long straight lines, open curves, constant speed sectors. In other words, Ferrari will be in control. This system is not simply a switch. It is a choreography of micro-adjustments. Ailerons that change in real time. Internal channels that redirect airflow. Actuators that adapt the behavior of the car second by second. This is where the extreme packaging of the SF26 makes sense. For this technology to work, every centimeter of the car must be optimized. Every surface, every curve, every millimeter of carbon fiber has to work in favor of the air. And that requires sacrifices. Ferrari has designed a more compact chassis than any other in its recent history. They have reduced the height of the diffuser. They have narrowed the pontoons to the limit. And most significantly, they have reintroduced pushrod suspension on both the front and rear axles. Something they have not done since 2010. This architecture is not just a question of geometry. It allows you to free up space to better channel the aerodynamic flow under the car, reducing turbulence and improving efficiency. What's interesting is how this aerodynamics combine with the new engine. Requiring less cooling thanks to the thermal efficiency of the ICE, Ferrari has reduced the size of the side air inlets. This, in turn, has allowed them to design a sharper body. Less resistance, more speed. But the real challenge is not only in the wind tunnel or in CFD. It's on the track. Because these active systems are not plug and play. They require perfect calibration, advanced software, total coordination between the driver and the race engineer, and above all, the ability to adapt to each circuit. What works in Monza could be useless in Monaco. According to internal leaks, Ferrari has been developing these systems in parallel since mid-2024. In secret, in simulators, on private tracks, working with test pilots, fine-tuning algorithms, programming sensors. All to ensure that the SF26 is not only an aerodynamically radical car, but also one that is controllable, predictable, and above all, competitive. The promise is clear. It is no longer about generating more load or more top speed. It's about generating the right load at the right time. To dance with the air. To transform every curve, every braking, every acceleration into a perfectly orchestrated symphony between machine and physics. Ferrari is not just trying to win again. He is trying to redefine what it means to compete in Formula One. He has bet all his prestige, his heritage, his technical power, and his immediate future on a single car. A car that has not yet taken a single official lap. That is the paradox. While other teams talk about continuity, evolution, staying in the fight, Ferrari has broken all the internal rules. He has said enough. He has said, if we continue as before, we will never return to the top. Leave me in the comments what you think about all of this.